All right, what's up, everybody? We'll get probably a few more folks rolling in here as we get going. But in the meantime, gonna get things sort of situated and ready to go. Happy Father's Day to all the dads. We got, hey Eric, what's up, man? We got, so I bought myself one about 6 weeks ago. I bought one of those propane torches that you see on TikTok. You know, the little, I bought one of those for myself and ordered a 3-pack. And so I got one of those for my father-in-law and one for my brother-in-law. And I do, when I ordered mine, I thought this is just something that they will love. It's like right in their wheelhouse, you know, like, because like my brother-in-law and their family like to go camping all the time. So it's perfect for them for a number of things. They can, you know, they can certainly find a use for it. And my father-in-law likes to build fires at their house and burn brush and do different stuff like that, so it's perfect for him. And, you know, heck, even in the winter, it'll be helpful. Like, if you have a little bit of ice build up somewhere, you can probably melt the ice. If you have, like, something maybe on your sidewalk or driveway, you could probably just hit it with the torch and melt that down. So anyway, just... So I gave them those for Father's Day, and as I expected, they were pretty tickled with those. So, try it out yet. Yeah, I've had mine. Like I said, Cody, I bought them about 6 weeks ago, so I've had mine out and been messing with it. You know, when they first got here, and then I just gave them theirs today. So, it's not one of the, like, big, fancy, like, super powerful, like, crazy ones. It's a little bit of a smaller version. But it puts out a nice little, you know, like, 2-foot flame, 2.5 feet maybe. It's it's enough to get the job done for sure. So, fun little toy. Like I told my son, I said it's a toy for an adult is what that is. You know, like, that's a big boy toy. So... Anyway, but like I said, my brother-in-law lit it, like set it up and used it in his house. And my sister-in-law was like, hey, turn that off. So, yeah. Might have to get one. Yeah, Cody. And I got, like, the ones I got, like I said, I got them on TikTok. They were cheap. I got a 3-pack and they were like, I want to say with shipping, they were like $75 maybe total. So, you know, like $25. You're going to get $25 worth of fun out of it. For sure. So, yeah. It does say on the box, like, you can use it to, like, sear meat. I could see how it actually could be useful for, like, cooking applications, I suppose, but it's not why I bought it. But yeah, and there's all kinds of different ones. Like I said, there's like some big fancy ones, and yeah, like I said, the ones I got were pretty small in comparison to everything else, but fun. So, all right, now that I'm done talking about propane torches. Again, happy Father's Day to everybody that's just jumping in. I said that back when we had 6 or 7 people watching, and now we're, creeping up closer to 20. So happy Father's Day to everybody. I hope everybody had a great day, enjoyed it. If your dad is still around, I hope you got to spend some time with him, or talk to him, call him on the phone. The day's not over yet, so if you didn't call your parent, your dad especially, make sure you do that. It's important that you do it. Take it from somebody like me who doesn't have that option. So, if you still have time, take advantage of it. And if you forgot today, do it tomorrow, or go do something with them tomorrow, whatever. Like, it's not about the day. It's about the making time and making them feel special, So, anyhow, so go do that. If you haven't done it, rewatch the break later. But anyway, went to watch the 360 sprints. There you go. That's good. That's perfect. That's nice. So anyway, here's our list. Only person I'm missing a payment from is James Ward, for his 2 spots. Otherwise, all the other spots are paid in full. So we're good to go on that. Let me bring the tablet in for the duck race, and we'll review it real quick. It's just a little duck race. Nothing crazy. There is the duck race lineup. First and second place will get a group. 1 through 18 are our spots. And then we need 18 on our duck lineup. Set that. Oh, shoot. I forgot to plug my phone in. I guess I should do that. You guys are going to feel a little bump here on the road. So just hang on. There you go. Did you guys feel it? Was it good for you? I barely gave you any warning. What happened here? What did you guys do while I was fiddling with the thing? What did you do? What did you do? Goodness. All right, let's try this again. Oh, for Pete's sakes. The page and the thing is great when it works, but then when it doesn't work, it's just a pain in the you-know-what. Goodness gracious, what a struggle that was. All right. Let's try this again. 18 spots is what we're looking for. Give me, we're going to do 40 seconds this time. And I'm just going to run it heads up. 40 seconds, 18 spots, here we go. What the heck? See, that's what it did just a second ago. What is the deal? I'm just going to let it sit here for a second. I'm going to try to start it. There we go. Hopefully we don't lose it. I don't know what that's all about, but... Cody says, so you say I won? Not yet. Not yet. Goodness. That was a struggle, wasn't it? Just to get the ducks to race for us. It's one of those apps where they want you to pay for all these memberships and subscriptions and all that, and I just use the duck race. I don't want any of the other stuff. So, of course, they want you to click on all these things to remind you of how much you could spend with them. Look at that. Cody Sharp, Duck 3. Yes, Cody, you did. You did win, funny enough. And then number 8 is Brian Jacobs. So Cody and Brian. Cody calling his shot like Babe Ruth. 3 and 8. So congrats, Cody and Brian. That's funny. All right. All right. So good luck, everybody. This is the final half. I saw somebody ask about where we were with the case. I mentioned this earlier, but this is the end of this case. These 6 boxes finish a case. So, again, I will remind everybody, don't get too hung up on those. Like, I know we all like to say case hit, and everybody likes to play the averages of, thinking that every case should have X amount of things in it. Don't get too hung up on that. That's all I'll say. Don't get too hung up on that, because I can't tell you how many times we've proven that to be not the case, one way or the other. You know what I mean? Like we've pulled multiple of something out of cases, and we've seen cases where there was none of what we thought we were supposed to have. So that's all I'm trying to get across when I talk about that stuff, is just don't get too hung up on it. Silver, Mark Martin. And Fuego, Truex. Justin Haley. But anyway, this finishes the case that we started earlier this week. And the 2 boxes that I did personals for earlier tonight came out of a fresh case. So we're actually 2 boxes into a third case. Tricolor, Terry Labonte. Claim to fame, Justin Allgaier. Silver, Landon Huffman. The race today, so I only watched I turned it on, Skills Jimmy Johnson, I turned it on with I think they had completed about 35 laps, so it was not quite halfway. I think for me, I think the race was too long. That's a long road course race there. And, if they started at 4 and I posted the break at 8, and I think it was a little after 9 when the race technically ended here. So that's over 5 hours for a road course race. 64 and 99, Josh Williams, white. For me, that's too long. But Josh Williams will go to Justin Elder. Skills, Tyler Reddick. Also, I don't understand what Tyler Reddick did. I mean, I understand, but I don't understand why any racer would just move over and let somebody else have the lead with 5 laps to go, like Reddick did. Like, I just genuinely, either you're a racer or you're not. You know what I mean? Like, because I didn't feel like Reddick hit Heim that hard. I mean, I know he moved Heim up, but he didn't wreck him. And that's kind of what you have to do sometimes. You have to get in there and get a little aggressive, but with maybe not wreck them. And that's exactly what Reddick did. And then Reddick, you could hear him. He got on the brake to let Heim continue on. I don't know. Like, I find that odd. 43 of 49, J-Mac, purple, going to Will Black. To me, it was I almost questioned if maybe Reddick knew he had a problem when that happened. And it was like, well, I'm not going to have a problem in front of you. I'm going to let the problem happen behind you, kind of thing. You know what I mean? I don't know. I just don't know why with a handful of laps to go, you would let somebody else, teammate or not, let somebody else just willingly continue on when you were obviously aggressively trying to pass them. Lime green Cole Custer, 66 of 75. Custer going to Justin Elder. Felt like it was both their doing, but I wouldn't just let him go around. Yeah, exactly. They were just racing. Like, I don't think either one of them did anything out of line. Corey or Reddick. And it's always a delicate situation when you're teammates, right? Like, you always have to be aware that you're teammates and you don't want to wreck each other. But I felt like they were racing each other hard, but not crossing any lines for sure. And so, like I said, it just was odd to me that Reddick basically got on the brake. Ellis out of 125 going to Joe Darmafal. I missed the beginning of the race, like I said, so I didn't see everything that transpired with the wreck that took out SVG and Zilich and some others. I also didn't see everything that happened with Bell, other than I know they made a driver change to Cruz. I don't know what happened with Bell's car as to why it couldn't finish, if they had a mechanical failure or what. Lane Riggs goes to Will Black. Then we got Brendan Butterbean Queen trackside action signatures with that Cummins Ram truck. It's going to go to Joe. Engine blue after the driver change. Ricky Stenhouse blue going to Tim Mays. 52 of 175. If you're Connor Zilich or Riley Herbst or some of these other younger guys that have kind of come up through ahead of Heim, though, and you've been chasing your first win and having some struggles, like Zilich has been struggling mightily. Connor Hall silver, and then you see Corey Heim come in and what did they say? It's either 11th or 13th start. I think 13 is what they said. Like, that's got to be a gut punch, too. Raja, 18 of 25. Going to William Steele. On the tie-dye. We'll put that there for a minute. Zane Smith. I was trying to keep up with the race, and then I was trying to go back and forth and watch some of the U.S. Open, and it got a little interesting there on the last hole and a half at the U.S. Open, but other than that, it was pretty anticlimactic through the day. 63 of 85, Justin Haley goes to Joe. Zilich was fast today. Yeah, they said that. I'm sure he was, but they said that SVG looked like he was gonna do SVG things, and then obviously couldn't. So, oh, that's nice. The red with the Canes black fire suit. That's cool. Tony Breidinger. That's sharp. Going to Jake. (17 of 125). Tony B. And then I got a Sparks, Ryan Blaney, 16 out of 99. Going to Justin. I'm paused on your end. Is anybody else on pause, or are you guys good? Everybody else good? Blaney going to Justin. SVG and Zilly Rec was Hilm doing. I'm not sure who that is. I'm not sure who you're talking about, Todd. Yeah, the red on that Tony B is real bright. Okay, Eric says he's good. Just want to make sure. Everything looked normal on my end. I didn't see anything that seemed out of place. Hill doing. See, to me, it looked like I don't know who it was in the midst of that wreck, and then it looked like maybe Hill had nowhere to, like Hill was coming in and had nowhere to go, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to rewatch it again because I can't remember who was in what spot in that. I only saw one replay of it. Connor Mozak, 10 of 25, tie-dye, going to Joe. And then we got 38 out of 49, Kyle Larson with the Sparks fire suit. Larson is going to go to Christopher Couch. Probably a good time to say this before I forget. But tomorrow night, I will post the. We will do a in-season challenge. You know, they do the in-season tournament for Cup still this year over the next couple of weeks. And so we will do a contest to go along with that. I'll probably do 2 different ones, like an A and a B. I don't know what the prizes will be yet. Have to figure that out. But I'll get that posted tomorrow night. Silver, Daniel Suarez, claim to fame, Rusty. But it'll be kind of the same as we do the race pools. It'll be, you'll get assigned a random driver, and if your driver wins the whole thing, then you'll win a box or a couple boxes or a blaster case or something. I don't know what yet, but something cool. So, got a redemption. Tanner Gray, and tricolor Caden Honeycutt. Yeah, the Sparks are awesome this year for sure. Dear valued customer, we regret to inform you that we don't have your Rusty Wallace autograph. Legendary Signatures tie-dye. That's going to be a nice one. So it'll be out of 25. Rusty Wallace goes to Troy. We regret to inform you that we produced cards. I shouldn't even start that because I'd rather have Panini than Topps. So as disappointing as Panini can be, I will take them any day over Topps. Silver, Richard Petty. Chase Elliott, Skills. Corey LaJoy, silver. Larson and Cliff Daniels. I think I mentioned this before, but so the way I'm going to do these tandem drafts for the crew chiefs. Now, the reason that I didn't, I think I even said I was going to make this change, and then I didn't with Gustafson and Knaus. The reason I didn't is because Gustafson and Knaus have their own standalone hits, where the rest of these guys, like Cliff Daniels, does not. So when we see these tandem draft cards pop up, if it's a crew chief on there with the driver and the crew chief is not listed, then it's going to go to that driver. So like in this case, this card will go to Kyle Larson. Regardless of whether it's a color, a parallel, or whatever, it'll go to the Larson spot. It just, the ones that won't is if Alan Gustafson or Chad Knaus are on them, or in the event that you have dual drivers. What I'm explaining only applies to crew chiefs with the driver. So it's just to alleviate a little bit of that random stuff for probably stuff that we didn't need to really be randoming. So lime green Bailey Curry, 29 out of 75. That'll go to the unlisted spot in Joe. Really nice silver Connor Zilic. That really pops. I've been saying I love the way they did the car cards this year, where like the picture is really large. It looks really good. That's fair. Yeah, just something. I just felt like that's the right thing to do with those, you know, like. Oh, there's a green. Justin Allgaier, emerald green. There we go. 3 out of 5 for Allgaier. Going to Michael Clay. Let me grab some. Actually, I got to get a whole new box of one touches, so hang on. Luckily, the box is literally right behind me. All I had to do is turn around. But I forgot that I used the last one in the pool break that we just did. All right. There we go. Should be all set on one touches for the rest of the break. Luckily, I keep most of this stuff within somewhat arm's reach. There we go. Justin Allgaier. Gonna move Larson. We're gonna move Butterbean over, and we're gonna put Allgaier right smack in the middle there. All horizontal cards on the stands gets a little congested. I guess I could zoom. I don't think I ever did zoom out for you guys any. Normally we're about right there when we're breaking, so give you a little wider viewpoint. William Sawalich silver. Kyle Larson claim to fame. Alex Bowman. This is a big week this week. In case anybody has forgotten, this coming Saturday is our non-NASCAR mail sale. So if you are a collector of other sports, football, basketball, baseball, Disney, I don't know, pickleball, tennis, hockey, Pop Century, we got like probably all that stuff I think I've seen. So tricolor Ryan Blaney. And there's the red Larson skills. We pulled the gold out of a personal box just a little while ago. The red is going to Christopher. 44 out of 99. But yeah, Saturday night will be the first non-NASCAR mail sale. We got some pretty nice stuff sent in. I wouldn't say there's anything that's like ultra high end, but I mean, I've seen, like I saw Wemby, I saw Otani stuff. I'm sure I saw like Drake May, Bo Nix. I'm just trying to think of some of the like trendy people that I've seen floating through some of that stuff that's come in. But it's a lot of pretty good stuff that, you would expect to see at a card show, really. So, red, Bubba Wallace. Bubba had a good run today. I mean, he passed my guy Larson for second. Straight up. Like, it wasn't like Larson, had an issue. Bubba passed him. Going to Lucas out of 125. So kudos to him. So here's my question. I mentioned earlier that I had a question that I was going to save until the break. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. trackside action signatures. Ricky will go to Tim Mays. My question is this. There is a certain number of people who will say that for the longest time who claimed that Bubba had never won a race because, he had won like a rain-shortened event. And I've heard the same thing about like Ricky Stenhouse. Well, he's only won on Super Speedway, right? Or AJ Allmendinger's only ever won road course races. So my question to all the people that have said, maybe not so nice things about all those guys in those situations is, do we now give Corey Heim the label of, well, he won a race, but a lot of the best drivers had either wrecks or mechanical issues and didn't finish the race? Right? Like a lot of the competition wasn't there. Zilich was gone. SVG was gone. Christopher Bell was gone. Reddick had an issue late. So do we take something away from Heim's win because of the circumstance? Or, I'm just asking a question, not trying to. I have always said, and Scott just said what I was thinking, because we usually are on the same wavelength a lot. But my opinion is always a win is a win is a win. And it doesn't matter how you got there. If they gave you the checkered flag and the trophy and the check at the end of the night, you won, period. And my argument has always been, if it comes down to like today where some guys wrecked out or had mechanical issues, I look at that as, if you want to win, in order to finish first, you must first finish. Corey said it right. They don't ask how, they ask how many. Exactly. Yeah, when Corey said that, that's what made me think of this, and that's why I wanted to run the question across everybody. Because everybody knows there's a certain amount of people that really had issue with, like Bubba, for example. Not to continue to dwell on Bubba, but there was a certain number of people that would always say, well, he's only won a race because of rain. Well, then Bubba went and won the Brickyard 400, and, I mean, he beat everybody. So, I don't know, I don't see anything wrong with any of it. If you won, you won. They said, what are they going to say now? Exactly. Yep, see, Scott's in my head again. As usual. Josh Bilicki, tricolor. And I'm not trying to be like a Bubba Wallace fanboy, because I'm not. Everybody knows I'm not he's not my guy or whatever. I'm just using him as the example. I've heard the same things, though, about Ricky Stenhouse. I've heard the same thing about Austin Dillon. I've heard the same thing about AJ Allmendinger on the road courses. It just, I don't know. I don't think people realize how hard it is to win a race, no matter what the situation. 139 to 175, blue Larson going to Christopher Couch. Claim to fame, Dale Jr. Nobody dogged Junior for all those plate. Exactly, yeah. Junior had a bunch of plate wins, too. Not only that, but everybody kind of celebrated it, right? Like, it wasn't like, you win all these races on. It was like, yeah, you're the man on these races. So, silver, Ryan Blaney. And then we got a blue Trackside Action Signatures, Tyler Ankrum. Harrison Burton, exactly. I just, I'm not a buyer of that. 29 to 99. And I'm sure me just saying it probably pissed somebody off tonight. I try not to get too, like, you guys know how I am. I try to sort of toe the line of sharing my opinions without sharing, like, without oversharing. Because we as NASCAR fans or sports fans in general are very passionate, right? Like, we feel very strongly about certain things. And so I try not to overshare how I feel too often. And you guys know I've given my 2 cents maybe when it was unwanted or unliked. But I try not to do it too much. Corey said it. Yeah, Corey did say it perfect. Exactly. Yep. They don't ask how, they ask how many. Yep. Tricolor, Tony Breidinger. Anybody catch any news on the ARCA race? Because wasn't there an ARCA race or am I crazy? Was there an ARCA race either last night or tonight? Somewhere else? Legendary silver Matt Kenseth. Now, nobody claimed Matt Kenseth, and he's going to go to Cody in the filler, interestingly enough. Joey Logano. I remember that, Scott, where they were talking to her, and she's like, I think it's raining. Max Reeves won at Berlin. Okay, cool. I thought they were racing, and I couldn't remember. Tyler Reddick, blue, going to Scott McAvoy, 46 of 175. Scott was like, I was with Emma. They should have just called it. Skills, Austin Hill, Dale Jr. Justin Haley. Silver, Tyler Reddick. Red, Skills, Chase Briscoe. Do you guys think that a little bit of the bad luck bug has started to bite Tyler Reddick? Because at the beginning of the season, man, they had everything going their way. And just like today, he's leading the race with, 5 or 6 laps to go. And how much that changed the point situation. Briscoe goes to Scott McAvoy. It's almost like he's been bitten by some of that, like the bad luck bug, so to speak. I don't know. But I know Denny is right there now. Like we got ourselves a race going into the end of the season here. White, Jake Garcia going to Joe. Got a guy in the top 4 in points with no... Yeah, exactly. Justin Allgaier and Raja Caruth. So Allgaier is Michael Clay. Raja Caruth is William Steele. So we'll set this one aside as a random. 2 drivers. It goes in the random pile. I think the change for the points this year was great. I think it was what we were all looking for. We all wanted. And red, John Hunter, 14 out of 125. Going to JR. Briscoe on the skills. Got an orange, William Sawalich. Going to Lewis. $21 of 49. Yeah, I don't see the whole comment there, Scott, but I agree with you. You're right. If your driver won early in the season, then you were kind of like, well, I don't really care what he does this week. I don't even have to watch because, you know, my guy's in the playoffs. I'll just wait and see what happens type of thing. So 43 and 99, Kyle Busch going to Brian Jacobs. Corey Heim, I will say, to kind of go back to him for a second and give him a little more credit, it does seem like he's got a really good head on his shoulders. I noticed during his interview when Trevor was interviewing him that he Trevor was trying to lead him down a certain road, and he made sure he stopped and said, well, Trevor, you've helped me a lot, so I want to thank you too. And I thought that was awfully big of Corey to, you know, kind of be able to pivot in the moment and say that. Dale Jr. goes to Nate Gogol with the Carolina Blue. And Fuego Harvick. Yeah, it's what I'm experiencing right now with watching Larson and Bell, Scott. I'm watching Larson start to build a little bit of consistency, and I'm watching Bell just ride the struggle bus and drop like a rock. Part of that's because of the injury now, but Bell's just... I've said it multiple times. Without bad luck, he's had no luck at all this year. I got 2 packs in there. Not Tupac, 2 packs. Silver empty box there. Yeah. I bet you didn't have a Tupac reference in the NASCAR break on your bingo card tonight. Silver Jake Garcia. Skills Bubba. An iconic Tricolor, Chase Elliott. You must be trying to say Pocono. Landon Lewis, rookie autograph. Going to Steve Teskey. Giving you a, yeah. I'm like, wait a second, I don't know what that is. Iconic. Lime green, Raja Caruth. 17 out of 75. Goes to William. Blaney and Sheldon Creed. I will tell you guys what, I am worn out. So yesterday I played in a golf tournament. Let me just tell you guys about my last 48 hours or so. So, which I've had a blast the last couple of days, don't get me wrong. But, so yesterday played in a golf tournament, Silver Cody Ware. Started, I got up at 6:30 yesterday morning. And registration started at 8 at the golf course. Shotgun start was at 9. It took us a little over 6 hours to play our golf tournament, which, if you're not a golf fan, that's a long, long time. 4 hours and about 15 minutes is kind of standard. Slow play, maybe 4.5. 61 of 99 red, DJ. DJ belongs to Dan Owens. But yeah, it took us 6 hours to play yesterday. But we had fun. Like, I had nowhere else to be in the moment, you know what I mean? Like, but it's just a long time that you're out on the golf course doing this stuff. So, yeah, long round. We came in 6 under par, which for a scramble is not great. Like, it's just sort of average at best. 35 of 125. We were 6 under. Andres Perez red goes to Dale Cobb. So, and when I tell you what we did yesterday, you'll realize how unimpressive our score really is. Because when I tell you we were 6 under, we had an eagle on one par 5 and we had an albatross on another par 5. So 5 of our strokes that we were under par came on 2 par 5s. Like, literally between the 2 par 5s, we had 5. we scored 5 out of 10, you know? But like I said, kind of a pedestrian round for us. But a lot of fun. 187 of 199. Daniel Hemrick, Carolina Blue, going to Joe. And then we no more than got home from that, and I had about an hour to kind of get things ready to go to my grandma's birthday party last night. And so, like, and we were responsible, we were responsible for bringing drinks, so I had to get the coolers packed up. I had made macaroni and cheese, so we had to have, like, my wife had that already started and ready to go. Josh Berry, White Sparks. Josh Berry was unclaimed and goes to Cody. And so then we had my grandma's birthday party. We took, like I said, we took drinks, we took mac and cheese. I took firewood. I took a trailer load of firewood over to her house to have a bonfire. And so just did all that stuff. We were at my grandma's till, like, I think we got home about 11:30 last night. And so I was just done. 6 out of 99, White Cole Custer. Going to Justin Elder. And then today we got up and went to my sister and brother-in-law's house, and you know, tried to do a little Father's Day thing there, and it was okay. It sort of fizzled out before it ever really got any legs, and it seemed like everybody kind of went in different directions while they were there, so everybody wasn't really together at all, which was a little strange, but it's okay, you know, whatever. Tie-dye Brayton Laster out of 25, going to Brian Despot. Brian D. So anyway, so that's kind of what we've been up to. Chase Elliott and Alan Gustafson. So we got to put this in the pile of randoms too, because Chase is Eric Parker, Alan Gustafson is Lewis. But anyway, so between those 2 days, it's just been, we've had a lot going on. When we left to come home from my in-laws today, I told my wife to stop at my mom's house so I could get the tractor and run over to my grandma's and get the trailer. Just all this, you know, all these things that needed to be done. All the cleanup and aftermath. So, my son was down here right before I was starting the break. My son MJ was downstairs, and he was like, "Dad, I don't know why I'm so tired." And I said, "Well, MJ, it's probably because we were out, you know, at a birthday party till 11:30 last night. You know, you were hanging around the fire, you were playing with other kids, doing stuff. And then today we went swimming at, you know, your aunt's house. So I can see why you're tired." 19:01:25. It's tinkle time. Let's go to Joe in the unlisted spot. Hocevar and Heim. Yeah, he was like, "Dad, I don't know why I'm so tired." Well, it's because you've been going hard, man. Going hard in the paint. Silver Riley Herbst. Purple Trackside Action Signatures Sam Mayer. What do you guys think? Do you think we're going to find a Color Blast in one of these last two boxes? 5 of 49. Or what else are you expecting? Let me ask you that. Sam Mayer goes to the filler and Brian. Sam Mayer goes to Brian in the filler. Make sure I get that right. But before we get down to these last two, what are you expecting to find in the last two boxes? Let me start with asking that question. Are you expecting to see a Color Blast because of that whole case hit term? Are we expecting to find a 101? What are our thoughts there? Carolina Blue, Lane Riggs. Going to Will Black, 110 of 199. Zebra would be cool, yeah. See, that's the thing is I've heard multiple people call Zebra parallels case hits. Well, look how deep we are into case number 2, and we haven't pulled a Zebra yet. So, my argument for that is not that it makes the Zebra less valuable or less rare. It's actually that it's more rare. So, no, we haven't pulled a 101 out of Select period yet. So, we're certainly due. But, again, not yet. Let's tidy up the joint a little. All right, let's do this. Last two boxes. Let's see what we got. Like I said, the third case we've already opened, and the first two out of that case were the two personal boxes that I opened for the race pool earlier. So if you're trying to keep track of what's been pulled and all those types of things, I just maybe I should pay attention to things like that when I get in breaks more, but I don't. I just go with what I'm looking for, you know? Like, I just go with it, and it is what it is. Josh Bilicki, going to be 26 of 125. Bilicki goes to Tim Mays. Like, if I collect, let me say this. Me as a collector of, like, Kyle Larson, for example, if I see a break with Kyle Larson, but I know that the, like, say I already know that the gold vinyl 101 autograph has been pulled, that doesn't have any bearing on whether I get in the break or not for me. It just doesn't matter to me. Like, if I want in the break, I'm getting in the break. You know what I mean? I'm going to just see what I can find. Blue Sparks, Eric Jones. 1 out of 49. First printed. Going to Will. I know they have those websites and things where they track 101s and all that stuff, and that's fine. If that's what you collect, if you only collect 101s, then I guess that tool is useful. But I'm not a baller like that. I collect cards like, just because I like them. So we got a gold Carson Hocevar. How about some Hurricane? I guess he's going to be hosting the Dale Jr. Download this week, too. 4 of 10 for Hocevar. Going to Michael Steiner. That's nice. That doesn't suck. Got another SSP after the green. We love some gold around here, that's for sure. Hocevar, 4 of 10. I'm going to move Queen because he's been up there for a hot minute now. And there's a second tandem draft, so I'm going to put these in the pile and we'll send one to each person. Gustafson and Chase Elliott. That solves that puzzle. Don't have to random it when there's 2 of them. Just share. Justin Haley, silver. And then we got signatures. Brittany Zamora going to Lewis. There you go, Lewis. Zemo. We'll put Brittany up here in place of Landon for the time being. Change it up again. Corey LaJoy to the world. C. Bell, Luke Fenhouse, orange, Nick Sanchez. He's going through the filler to Brian. 44 of 49. I should have no problem getting this stuff all shipped tomorrow. Claim to fame, Dale Jarrett. I don't think I have a whole lot on my plate tomorrow. I mean, I know it's Monday, but I can't think. I mean, I have work stuff, but I don't think I have anything crazy that I have to tend to. So I should be able to get all the stuff shipped tomorrow. Jake Garcia, Carolina Blue. Going to Joe. Again, shipping is included for your autographs, your relics, out of $199. And if you hit a color blast, I'll usually go ahead and ship those too, because that's a pretty big hit. Usually if we hit a color blast or a downtown, those are the other two kind of things that I'll usually, not always. It's just been here just since Select came out that I kind of started saying that. Before, it was always just autos, strictly autos relics. But another group member said, hey, why don't you ship color blasts? And I said, well, I guess I should, shouldn't I? And they were like, yeah. So I said, okay, we can fix that. Easy fix, man. Easy fix. Silver Jeb Burton. Just be aware. I don't know if it's here yet, but we do have some weather that's going to move into our area. I'm not sure exactly how it's supposed to get. I don't know if Michael Clay is watching. Michael Clay can probably tell me, because typically whatever Mike Clay gets, his weather is my weather. It usually ends up, whatever he gets normally ends up in our lap. So, Tricolor Brayton. And then we got, ooh, that's nice. Trackside Action Signatures, purple Kyle Larson, Young Money. 47 of 49. Kyle Larson going to Christopher Couch. Chris made the comment to me last week. He was like, you're going to have to start hitting some Larson stuff for me. Yes, sir. We got you. Order received and processed. There you go. And a red Spencer Boyd. Going to Joe, 120 of 125. Blue Jeb Burton. Going to Joe. $154 out of 175. Claim to Fame, Ryan Blaney. BK. Have it your way. You rule. We might be about due for one of those NASCAR parallels, too. I think we've only pulled maybe 2 or 3 of those. Silver Ross Chastain. So we might could see one of those pop up, too, I suppose. There he is, the man of the hour. Corey Heim. Blue Skills. Corey Heim is going to go to Cody Sharp. 27 of 49. Carolina Blue, Jimmy Johnson. Stomach's growling. Jimmy Johnson going to JR. I don't know why my stomach's growling. 97 out of 199. Probably because I was talking about Burger King. Skills Kyle Busch, which we never eat at Burger King. I couldn't tell you the last time I had at Burger King. Probably 5 years ago or more. So the one that we have near us is not clean. That's the problem. Well, actually, there's 2 near us, and neither one of them are great. So, and with kids, if we have fast food, it's usually McDonald's, because although our daughter's past that phase, our son MJ is obsessed with McDonald's, which is fine. I'm not. I'm always down for a McDonald's run. You guys know how I've told you guys about my eating habits. You know how I am. I am too picky of an eater, but when it comes to something like that, I will not turn down McDonald's or Wendy's. Or do you guys have any of you guys have a favorite fast food, like, that's near you? Like, I know some people have certain things near them. You know, like some people have, like, I don't know. Like, if you're out west, you got In-N-Out Burger, 117 out of 199. Cody Ware going to Joe. Further down south, you get, like, Crystal and Checkers. Whataburger. Yep. Yeah, Whataburger's kind of a west thing, isn't it? Sonic. Yeah, we have Sonic. Silver, Justin Allgaier. Zane Smith and Joey. I actually really like Arby's. I'm picky, and I don't eat beef. Really, the only time I'll eat beef is a roast beef sandwich from Arby's. Because it just, you know, the way it's sliced and the way, you know, normally I get the beef and cheddar, so it's obviously drenched in cheddar cheese. Put cheese on something, it's automatically going to be better. Tricolor, Tony Breidinger. Hey, Trackside Action Signatures. Oh, my Lord. After my own heart. 1 of 1 black. Trackside Action Signatures. Kyle Larson. Jeez. Lord have mercy. Going to Christopher. Christopher, you did not order that. That is not what you put in the order. So, like I said this the other night, sometimes being the breaker is fantastic. Sometimes being the breaker sucks. Tonight it's both. Like, it's fantastic. I'm super thrilled for Christopher. But as the collector, it's like, damn it. Congrats, Chris. Super thrilled for you, man. I am. That'll work. 101. Well, now you're well on the way to the rainbow. You got the purple and the black in the same break. Now you're committed. I'm going to move the purple, though. Golly. Well, there it is. There it is, right? Congrats, Chris. I really am happy for you. I mean that sincerely. I just had to have my, 5-year-old moment for a second. Justin Haley, blue. Going to Joe in the unlisted spot. 95 out of 175. And we got claim to fame, Carl Edwards, Landon Huffman. Start a bid if you want to sell it. Chris and I have done many, many deals. You can. Chris says you can look at it for a couple days before you ship. Oh, that's great. That's hilarious. No, I'm getting out of the house. It's coming your way. I don't want it. I don't want it to be my responsibility. It's yours. I'm not babysitting for you. Ooh, the tie-dye of this looks really good. Skills tie-dye, Ryan Blaney. That's sharp. I like the tie-dye better than that gold we pulled. That's really sharp. But yeah, anyway, I was saying, Christopher and I have done many deals together, 24 or 25. And so, glad to see him get a nice PC item like that. That's good. Carson Quapple. And I'm sure he knows that if he did want to sell it, I would be standing there front and center with my hand held high saying, pick me, pick me. Claim to fame, Todd Gilliland. Cody said, well, there goes the color blast. Carolina Blue, Spencer Boyd. Going to Joe. 110 of 199. I don't think, Chris, that's hilarious, though. I don't think anybody's ever told me, hey, you can hang on to it for a day or two and just look at it, and then, but then you got, that's so funny. So funny. Kyle Busch. We got a red Keelan Harvick color match. Keelan is going to go to Jake. 68 out of 125. And then we've got Cody Ware with the selective swatches going to Joe. This has been a good break, guys. It really has. I mean, we pulled a 101 black, an emerald green out of 5, a gold out of 10, multiple tie-dyes, some nice autographs. Like, it's been a good one. Select so far, I mean, truthfully, has been really, really good. Like anything, you know, it can be streaky depending on who you're looking for and what you're trying to get. But that's every product and every break and everything that you get in now. You know, it's just the way it is. Skills, Ty Gibbs. Need a full case. Yeah, we'll do a full case break soon, Cody. I actually told my LCS owner, he messaged me today just saying, hey, are you good? What do you need? And I told him, I said, you can keep the select coming. I said, because we'll use it. I said, but I definitely need a full case, like a sealed case. And that was my first thought when I told him that is we got to have a case to do a case break. Tricolor, Connor Zilich. Dale Jr. and Kelly Earnhardt Miller. Dale Jr. and Kelly Earnhardt Miller. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. Dawson, Chris Busher. We got a purple Austin Dillon going to Michael Clay. 59/85. And Fuego Jr. and Gio. And our last pack. This is sort of what I mean when I talk about the whole case hit thing. Is it really a case hit if you get 2 in one case and none in another case? Silver Bubba. Nick Sanchez, 37/49. Purple trackside action signatures. Going through the filler to Brian. So for those that are wondering about the color blast situation, here's where we're at. The first case, we had 2 color blasts. Second case, we had none. So that's where things are. So like I said, it sort of debunks the whole, we've only opened 2 cases and we've sort of already blown that theory. Maybe 1 per case on average, I guess is what we could say. Because that would be a true statement. All right, let me hit you guys with a quick recap. Like I said, a really good break, though, overall. Some really good quality. Like I said, I think Select is nice. It continues to give us good hits, low-numbered stuff. Everything that we're looking for, it continues to deliver. So, all right, here's our short-printed stuff. Like I said, I'm a big fan of how this looks. I think that's the first Skills tie-dye we've pulled, and that's just sharp. Anyway, out of 25, Blaney, Laster, Raja Caruth, and Connor Mozak, all out of 25. Cody Ware, Eric Jones, Blue Sparks, White Sparks, Josh Berry, Kyle Busch, Red, Blue, Kyle Larson, and Red, Ryan Blaney. So the relics, all, for the most part, some really good names in there. Rusty Wallace on the redemption. We only had 1 redemption in the 6 boxes, so that's not terrible. Purple, Nick Sanchez. Purple, Kyle Larson. Brittany Zamora. Landon Lewis, rookie autograph. Brendan Butterbean Queen auto. Purple, Sam Mayer. Purple, trackside action, Jamie McMurray. Legendary signatures, Matt Kenseth. Tyler Ankrum Blue. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. So, like I said, some really good autos in there in the mix. Let's do the out of 10 Carson Hocevar Gold. We had the green Justin Allgaier to 5. And this is when I should just make the camera go away and be like, there was nothing to see here. Black trackside action signatures 101, Kyle Larson. Congrats again to Chris. Super nice. I don't love... black borders are so delicate. I don't love that top. The top of that border I don't necessarily love, but, it's a 101, so I don't think it really makes any difference. It's not bad. Trust me, it's not bad. But anyway, really, really nice. Congrats again to Christopher on that. And then I only had 1 base card that we really necessarily need to do a random for, so we'll knock that out real quick. It's just a base Allgaier and Raja. Allgaier is Mike Clay. Raja is, give me just a second and I can tell you, William Steele. Otherwise, the rest of the dual things sort of work themselves out. No colors or parallels or anything in there. But doesn't matter if it's 1 card or 10 cards, we're still going to do it. So we're going to go right and left, just like we have been 5 times. Here we go. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So left side wins again. Left side's undefeated in this so far, by the way. Doesn't matter what I do. Left side just keeps winning. That's all they do. So the left side lunatics win again. That's going to Justin Allgaier. So that's all I got for tonight. Everybody have a great rest of your night. Appreciate the support. Have a great Monday. It's almost Monday now. Again, happy Father's Day, and we will see you all next time.